What's up? I'm not James, but that is Jen. Welcome to I Must Ask You a Question. What's up, Jen? We haven't seen each other in a little while.
We're still the J names, so it still works.
There you go. So, how have you been? I know we've missed you for a few weeks there, and we appreciate you and everything you do. But you're back, and you said it's kind of a slow day in the shop, right?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things are happening right now. It is the very end of a month in which gas costs a lot of money, and probably water and electricity and all that stuff is ramped up because of the heat wave and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's like thinking to themselves, you know what, this week I'm going to push off and I'm going to come to the LCS next week. So
I completely understand that. It's hot out here. We were talking a little bit before. I was like, you guys have been going through this is like a regular Wednesday for us, but it's not humid. And I think that's where, because you guys got some really bad humidity. Is it like 80-90% sometimes?
yeah, I mean, it's really nothing to have 100% humidity day,
Oh
which
gosh.
is crazy. But it's so funny because for the last week or so, there's a regular weather app that we have that's like
Mhm.
specific to our local area that'll supposed to tell you exactly what you have for the weather for the day.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's been saying that it's going to top out at 90 or 95 today. But in reality, what we're seeing for temperatures is 100, 105, and that's not with the like when they talk about the heat index thing. So there've
Mhm.
been some
Yeah.
I can't remember what day it was. I was driving from probably work to home, and we
Yeah.
saw people like taking their daily like walk in the middle of the day. And the two people I saw, which was more than two more people than I thought I was going to see outside, looked
Right.
like they were just fighting off like heat stroke.
Oh my gosh.
It was like I am trudging to my house, and I'm going to make it. I see
uh,
Jim's on, and Michael and Chris, Mr.
yes, we have.
Michael.
Uh, Maestro Extracto, he's actually one of the artists on one of the Kickstarter projects that I'm affiliated with,
Mhm.
Oneshi Press. It's Tar Mucks, and it just funded yesterday, and super exciting. It's a really cool comic book. They're also partnering with Comics on Coffee as well with some coffee stuff. So very cool project. It's their greenest campaign. Like they even partnered with One Tree Planet, so they're gonna plant one tree for every backer. And
Wow.
very cool, very ambitious project, and super cool. And Mr. Maestro Extracto is the artist on that project.
I like that. That's one thing that it brings to the kind of like it doesn't really happen with comic books that are released in the traditional fashion
Mhm.
is that you really can kind of like showcase things that your creative team cares about and kind of like
Yeah.
tie that into whatever you're doing for your crowdfund because you can be like, hey, we care about this thing. We want to, support this charity or this important stuff that we love very much. I think it's cool. It kind of gives you an insight into the creative team, what's important to them, and it builds a community to me that you can get to know them. It's more than just like, hey, I see them post on Twitter and I see them post on Insta. So I see pictures of what they like. This is kind of different. You can really see them like we're putting our the money where the mouth is kind of stuff.
Yeah, very true. It's super cool when we can see creative people thinking outside the box and doing things differently, and then giving back to your community on top of it. What that's like the cherry on top, right?
Oh, yeah. And then also it's kind of crazy cool also because of the way that they're formulated, you can kind of do pie in the sky levels of
Hmm.
backing. And you're like, if we reach this level, it'll unlock. And you can think about for yourself as just like an independent creator, things that you would never really like, you'd have to wait for years to be able to get to. Like, for example, if you were a comic book person making your first book with a publishing company, they'd be like, yes, we're willing to do individual comic books for you, and then we'll head to the trades. But the marketing part of like plushes and socks and stickers and all that kind of stuff, that's something that a publisher might consider way later on once they see if it like hits or whatever. But this allows for that stuff to happen fairly immediately. Like it gets you to like if there's enough people that like the idea for what you're doing and they want a plushie and that's one of the levels, they just support it until they get to the plushie level. And then you get to
Yeah.
be right away making merch.
Yeah, well, Source Point Press, they're doing some cool stuff right now. They got
Mm-hmm.
plushies going on. I know this is affiliated with Scout, but I do, admire when other publishers do some really out of the box kind of things, and it's very cool. Like Scout just dropped some major news. They partnered with the OP to do some
Yeah.
really cool board games.
What do you
So
think? What's
that's
the
very
coolest
cool.
board game you'd make?
So, you know what? I would love. Listen, I know it's a super raunchy one, but it's very close to like D&D. So I'd probably like to see. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Probably see
Maybe some hobos.
some
Hobos
murder
that
hobo. Yeah, that'd be a fun game. I think it would be highly inappropriate and highly adult.
mm-hmm. It would be
But
kind of fun. It would be fun to do like a Monopoly style the mall.
oh, that would be cool. Yeah, the mall going around to different shops and
Mhm.
trying to run away from the bad guys. Chris says Stabby Bunny Operation Game. That is genius. I love that.
Oh
Yes.
my word.
Um, but another one would be cool. Would the Misadventures, right? That would be a cool one. Um,
Yes.
I'd totally love to see since we got Matt Knowles in the house, see some Misfits Clubhouse
Mhm.
stuff. That'd be maybe that one would be cool, like a shoots and ladders kind of a type of game.
What is this? Okay,
I
do they do? Are they focused in on any kind of genre of table
I
gaming? Or
don't know. I have no
Scout
idea.
League?
I haven't been able to look them up and kind of research them, which I probably will because that's just what I do sometimes. Um, but yeah, I would really be interested to see. I don't know if anybody out there knows what kind of games they make, but I'd be interested to see what they can come up with.
Mhm. Yeah, I like things that are based on other games, but I think it's always cool when there's like if you can get together people that are already game developers, like they come up with unique ideas that are completely new
Yeah.
and pair those things together, which is like I used to know a fellow locally who he just made games that were like card games. Like it would like the size of a regular playing card deck. He would come up with entire new ways to play a game with, you know, not regular playing cards, but cards that he made. That I really love those because you can just keep them in your purse or your pocket and just like sit down for a meal and be like, you know what, we're playing this.
Yeah. As I've never, I love the card games, but I've never played D&D, and I've had so many of my friends like they're like, you really need to get into it. But this is the thing. I think partly why I haven't played D&D is because I think I'll get very obsessed with it.
Oh, it's easy to.
Here we go, Chris. So speaking of D&D, he wants a solar flare D&D type of game or a quest type.
Yeah, it would have to be like survive this.
Yeah. He says D&D is the best game ever. That's why I'm saying I think I would probably get too addicted and I'd probably like neglect all my work.
Mhm.
So what's been cool that's dropped in the shop this week? Anything
There's
funny?
there's a bunch of really cool stuff. This is an off Scout week for us because we get them straight from Scout, so we don't have. I think ours came in last week before last. But of other things that I really loved reading, I actually didn't get to sit down for this one, but I've been waiting for it forever. From Vault, there's a book from Zach Kaplan who's been doing like he's
Mm,
got 4 big releases in this last month and a half, 2 months. This one's called Mindset, and it's like trippy, super trippy book where um, the premise is that uh, your phone and computer and the social media that plays on it and all that stuff. There's been some, I think it's college kids that have figured out a way to program it some way that actually can take control of you.
mhm.
So the mindset is that it actually is like driving us. Like it's kind of a premise that's really already out there that the feed that you're seeing in your, whatever, when you're scrolling not all of that is real people. So you got to pay attention to there are people that you know, whether you actually want to have their opinion, because they can sway what your opinion is just from what they're saying. You're like, oh yeah, I agree with that. And they might not be an actual person. They might be a bot. So I think that's this idea that you can have everything about you swayed and changed, reset by social media and other things. So that's what the premise of the book is.
That is a marketer's dream.
Mm-hmm.
To sway people's opinions just by agreeing and being like, yeah, it's a great idea. Come on, guys. Like, how easy would that be just to be like, you guys really need to listen to James and Jen because they got the lowdown, and everybody does it.
This is like even scarier stuff. It's like when you incite people to go and do a thing altogether that they would not normally do on their own or think of.
I feel like ours would just be like, come do cool stuff. And like,
oh, yeah, we were totally like, you need to buy one of every comic book.
Yeah.
And you.
Chris has got a good question here. I honestly don't know how this goes because I'm not, in these conversations. I just happen to know that sometimes some creators already come over with variant covers. Sometimes they need to update the covers so they make brand new covers. I just don't know exactly how it works out every single time, at least with Scout.
Yeah, it's a kind of a mixed bag. So big companies like Marvel and DC sometimes have extra art made for covers and then offer those up to retailers and say, do you want to have this be your exclusive cover? Mm-hmm. These would be ones that are already slotted for, A cover, B cover, C cover, whatever. And then they also make it available for you to like contact them and say, we're interested as a retailer in having a special cover made just for us. And they say, these are the available covers, or these are the available creators that we can ask to make something original that you have an idea for. But for independent companies like Scout, often either they'll have one that they're shopping around to retailers to see if anyone wants to have it as their exclusive. Or I, as a retailer, will say, I hear that there's an amazing book that's coming up called, let's see, when we had a crazy one for, we've had so many variants from Scout. I can't think of one right now. I'm just like, I gotta have it. So in that case, we sometimes have said we have an idea for a cover. Can you find someone that can make a cover that's like that? Mm-hmm. And then they'll get it made for us. And in all cases, usually the cost of the art is shared. The retailer pays for the cost of the art that's being made for the cover, and then we say that we're going to buy a certain volume of them, and some volumes are small, like you can order tiny amounts, like 100 of a variant, and that makes it super rare and valuable and desirable. Or sometimes you have to buy a whole ton of them, and that's usually the big two. You have to order a whole bunch. So. And that doesn't make them any less desirable. It just means that there's more of them in circulation. So it's the way it is.
Yeah. Matt Knoll says it's definitely creator combo, like us having some variants planned, but then Scout may have an idea for others. Complete collaborative effort. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very interesting because I didn't know that much about all that kind of behind the scenes stuff. They just tell me, hey, can you promote this? And I'm like, cool, I'll do that. And that's the extent of my work.
There was a big swath of time in which I just told Hake that if you have a variant that you don't have a home for, we'll co-brand it. So for a while, there's a bunch of stuff. If you look on the website for scout.com, there's a bunch of stuff that's Space Cadets and Scout co-branded. That's how those happen.
Yeah. That's I think that's how you and a lot of the CBSN people do it too. Sometimes where they definitely put their name in a hat and say, hey, you guys can't find anybody, we could definitely fund it and get these out there for people. I love that because this industry, we need a lot more retailers like that that are willing to. I mean, if you guys are able to do that, and you guys have an availability to do that with CBSN and Space Cadets, and I love that. It's fantastic. I have a couple of the Space Cadets variant covers myself. So
my favorite collaborative effort between Scout and CBSN was a cover we had no say in, but it was assigned to us. And when we first saw it, I knew exactly where it was going.
Mhm.
And some of the other people were like, I don't understand this at all. Why would we want to have this for a variant? But it ended up being the best variant ever for Mullet Cop. It was literally the Mitt. The Mitt 2000 was the front on the cover. And yeah, it's a complete sellout. Good
What
luck.
cover was it?
Huh?
Which cover was it?
It's the one that's just literally the microwave.
Oh, yes, that is one of the cool covers.
Yeah.
It's just so random, just a random microwave. And that's one of the ones that everybody really loves. That one, and with the person in the wheelchair.
Oh yeah, because that was a high ratio variant. It was like a 1:25 or something. Or maybe it was the mall, the web store variant. I can't remember. It was a higher bridge to cross to be able to get that one.
I think I've got one or two of those somewhere. It's laying around in my sets somewhere. I said, ooh, I like that. I've never seen that yet, and I bought it.
I think that I've never seen such a fast, complete sellout of all of our stock of anything.
Wow,
it was
that's very cool.
Announced like within 24 hours. Everything was gone.
That's super cool. Okay, we're just a couple minutes away from winding down here. I do have one question, and it pertains to comic books. I want to know what your most anticipated comic book this summer is. If it's come out already, you can't talk about it yet. It's the ones that are going to be dropping very soon. So if it's already happened, then I guess it'll be your second choice.
Gosh, I'm really bad at remembering what is coming.
One of mine. Okay, I'll tell you mine while you're thinking. I am very excited about Captain Suave from Scout. And have you heard about that one yet?
I have the ash can for that one.
It's so cool. It follows a transient who believes he is a superhero. That's all you got to know. It's freaking fantastic. The artwork is amazing. The team is great. I'm very excited about that. I've known about that one for a little bit. Because Andrea Molinari sent me some pages, and he's like, "You're gonna love this one," and I have.
I think unfortunately mine is already released, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and read it. It was the Code 45 that I got to interview the creative team, and I was just like, "This sounds amazing."
Code 45 is another one that's amazing. Ben and his team are fantastic people. They did an amazing job. They also have a really cool podcast. Talking about the making of Code 45. Super, super cool. Yeah, they are actually housed on my network, so I can drop links later, but you guys could just go to your favorite podcast player and just type in Code 45, and it should pop up. If you can't find it, type in the Geek Collective, and the Code 45 logo should pop up, and you should be able to listen to it there. Very, very cool. It's super cool. And this is a lot of fun, Jan. I appreciate you taking the time and allowing me to sit in for James.
Well, I'm sorry James couldn't get on. He had technical issues. He was actually ready to come on, so it's not for lack of trying today.
Yeah. He sent us a message while we went live and said that his connection was very bad at the office. So there's a lot of weather issues going on. I mean, I don't know if it's weather related, but I mean, who knows? Anything's possible.
I just want to say thanks for all the creatives that showed up to chit chat with us. We appreciate all that you guys do. We know that you sometimes maybe feel like you're working in a void, but know that we are cheering you on. We love what you're doing. Keep going. Don't give up. Show us the cool stuff.
Fantastic. What's coming up next on the network?
Oh gosh, what day is this? Wednesday.
Feel
like if Dan's back, Dan's probably got something cool.
If Dan's back, I think he's got something. If not, then we won't see him. But we will see Dynamic Forces jumping in today, right?
Oh gosh, I love watching their show. They've the collectible show. I'm always trying to please don't buy anything, but then Nick Barucci shows up and is like, "What price do we have on those things? Slash it!" And then I'm like, "I must have it, I guess."
It's so hard because they have some amazing things. Like he sent me some emails of the stuff that they got putting out today, and you guys should definitely check it out. They are just check the listings for the EXP because I don't have the timing pulled up. But check the listings. I think it's the 2 hours before my show. I don't know what time that is Eastern time. About 4 or 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I don't know what time it is Eastern. So 7 p.m. your EST, I think. So check your listings and on the EXP, and they should pop up for you guys. Really cool. It's really cool stuff. Bring your money though, because you guys will definitely find some amazing stuff there.
Yeah, it's killer deals.
Awesome, Jen. I appreciate you. You want to let everybody know where they can find you on social media?
I'm pretty easy to find. I'm Jen King on Facebook, which is so boring because that's just my real name. And I look just like this. I'm so easy to get. On our socials, like Twitter, I'm at Commander King. I don't do very much tweeting, and I apologize for that. But our Insta is live and crazy. We do a lot of stuff that's just under Space Cadets Collection. And that's my staff being creative because I'm not cool enough to be cool on TikTok or Instagram. I just turn on the computer and say things into a screen, and that's all I do.
I do have to commend Jenna. She does a really good job with TikTok. So she's amazing.
I got to do a new series because I've gone through all of the grades, so I got to figure out a new series of things.
We'll play with fun, guys. All right, Jen. And you guys can find me at Joey Alvarez 1984 on Twitter, or you can do a quick Google for the Geek Collective, and you can find us there. All kinds of cool stuff there. Just check out it. I have a new website, geekcollective.net, so check it out. All kinds of cool stuff. Even creatives, we have some offerings there. I will not promote it here on this show because it's not my show, but definitely check out that stuff. We have some fun podcasts. Awesome comic book podcasts. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
Watch this again, using my mind.